Hi, welcome. Menopause can be a rough transition, but there are regular everyday things that could be making matters worse. In this video, I'm going to list 10 common things that may be exacerbating your symptoms so you can look into lifestyle changes that might help lighten your load and make you feel better. Let's start with extreme temperatures. Both ends of the spectrum can be problematic. Low estrogen leaves women at an increased risk for dehydration. So the horrible sweating that often accompanies the scorching summer heat can easily leave you dehydrated and increase a list of symptoms like joint pain, UTIs, constipation, dizziness, and headaches. Extreme heat can also add to sleep problems and exacerbate night sweats and hot flashes. On the flip side, the icy cold winter weather can also be an issue and affect things like joint pain, dryness, and skin conditions like eczema, cause you to stay inside more and feel loneliness. And the decrease in daylight and sunshine can cause or worsen depression. You can't control the weather, unfortunately, but being aware, keeping your environment at a favorable temperature, if possible, and taking vitamin D, especially in the winter, can help. Next is dismissive healthcare professionals. This is very much a common occurrence in menopause and often worsens symptoms. Many women have lists of concerning and uncomfortable symptoms, and they go to medical appointments in search of answers and reassurance. What they're often met with, though, is dismissiveness and answers like, "You're fine, and it's probably just anxiety," which just ramps up anxiety and panic and related symptoms like palpitations, sweating, stress, dizziness, air hunger, paresthesia, and so on, and causes feelings of helplessness and hopelessness, and even new or worsening depression. I truly hope changes in women's healthcare is on the horizon, because this should not be on my list. Sugar is number 3. It tastes heavenly, but is highly inflammatory, and chronic inflammation can cause a list of problems in the body and can definitely exacerbate menopause symptoms like fatigue, pain, digestive problems, and even anxiety and depression. It can even contribute to fatty liver, high triglycerides, blood sugar imbalances, mood swings, and increases in the risks for cardiovascular disease, and can trigger hot flashes. Sugar is probably best reserved for the odd treat. Stress is next. Life in general can be stressful, and the chaos that often accompanies menopause just adds to it. So in a twisted and unfair way, the stress of menopause worsens menopause symptoms. Stress affects the nervous system and can cause the release of adrenaline and cortisol, triggering hot flashes, worsening night sweats, anxiety, insomnia, blood pressure levels, brain fog, concentration, digestion, and more, and ultimately making our midlives more difficult and uncomfortable than it has to be. Taming the stress can be challenging, but don't give up because it can make a big difference to symptoms and quality of life. Number 5 is less than 6 hours of sleep nightly or broken sleep. Sleep is essential to health and well-being. That is when your body is doing most of its repairing, reorganizing, and recharging, and you cannot function optimally without it. During menopause, with so many changes happening, it's especially important to get adequate rest. Unfortunately, it's very challenging because shifting hormones affect sleep in several ways and can amplify symptoms like anxiety, pain, fatigue, brain fog, depression, clumsiness, and headaches, not to mention a weakening of the immune system, leaving you wide open to bugs and illnesses. Despite all of the obstacles, do your very best to get in your 6 to 8 hours. It will benefit you physically and mentally. Next is caffeine. When you're not sleeping well or trying to get moving in the morning, coffee is usually the beverage of choice. But too much caffeine might just be adding to your misery. It can increase hot flashes, palpitations, adrenaline surges, anxiety, headaches, and disrupt sleep. And on the flip side, trigger or worsen symptoms when you skip the caffeinated beverage and your body is accustomed to it. Moderation is definitely key when it comes to caffeine. Keep it to a minimum so you can take advantage of the occasional boost in energy and focus without becoming dependent on it and struggling without it. Number 7 is exercise. Not because it's bad for you, of course. Exercise is important and encouraged. The type of exercise and your tolerance to it is usually where the problem lies. With all of the changes to muscles and joints in menopause and the accompanying aches and pains, overdoing any type of exercise or engaging in activities that overstress the body can trigger symptoms. Hot flashes, palpitations, anxiety, dizziness, and pain are just a few. I love yoga, but I started consistently noticing after each yoga workout that I had sharp pains and soreness in my chest. I visited the ER a couple of times before I made the connection, and the anxiety and panic that ensued was next level. I was obviously overworking my already sore shoulders and chest muscles and aggravating my costochondritis, so I know now to be very careful with the type of exercise I do. Exercise is a necessity, but please listen to your body and do activities that make you feel better rather than worse. Gluten can also increase menopause symptoms and cause new ones. Increased allergies and intolerances are common in menopause, and gluten is often a big offender. It can cause or exacerbate joint pain, bloating, skin breakouts, cramping, diarrhea, constipation, fatigue, brain fog, and more. If you've been struggling with a list of symptoms since the onset of perimenopause, removing gluten for a couple of months is worth a try. It may help alleviate some of your symptoms. Processed food is number 9. It's loaded with sodium, sugar, and fat, and just like sugar, is highly inflammatory and will worsen pain, fatigue, digestive issues, and headaches, and increase blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, and risks for cardiovascular disease and cancer. As a general rule, if it comes in a box with a list of ingredients, it should probably be avoided or at the very least kept to a minimum. Next is alcohol. Lack of estrogen increases histamine production, and alcohol is a high histamine beverage, so it's been known to trigger hot flashes and cause or increase dizziness, muscle aches, fatigue, headaches, flushing, digestive upset, mood swings, poor sleep, and more. Some women even become alcohol intolerant, like me. One drink makes me feel horribly, so I've been avoiding alcohol for years. I kept the list to 10 things, but there are definitely others. What common everyday things do you find worsen your menopause symptoms? Share in the comments. It may help others connect some dots and point them in the right direction about which lifestyle changes may help them feel better. I pray you all find treatments and solutions to help make your menopause more manageable. I wish you all health, happiness, and peace of body and mind, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.